What's up, SpudNation? Training camp's right around the corner. NFL season right around the corner. And that means fantasy football season is right around the corner. You guys can start putting in a little work, start getting your draft boards ready, and get prepared to dominate your fantasy football drafts. I love this time of year. I'm here to help you guys. And if you don't know, check out my videos. I hooked up that draft strategies video last time. So hit up my website or check out YouTube. Whatever you guys got to do, check it out, be prepared, and dominate your draft. Guys, I'm here to help. Email me, craig@thesportscoach.com. Leave a comment on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I'm everywhere. I'm here to help you guys. Those are all open lines of communication just for you. All right, today I have a few emails, questions to answer, and on top of that, we are talking NFL rookie impacts. We finally know where they're going, we finally know their situation, and guess what? We're going to break them down, and we're going to hook you guys up, SpudNation, get you ready for your fantasy draft. All right, we're going to start out with some questions, and I got a question today, actually, through YouTube. Am I a Vikings fan? No, I'm not a Vikings fan. I've been asked this before. I've been on radio shows, other shows. They ask me, are you a fantasy football fan or are you an NFL team fan? When it comes down to it, I am a fantasy football diehard. I'm a fantasy football fan through and through. That's it. But if you really twisted my arm and I had to pick a favorite NFL team, we'd be talking the Detroit Lions. Love Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford. They're a team that's up and coming. I like them. Lions, it's where it's at. I live in Wisconsin, so I'm fighting all the Packer backers around here, all the cheeseheads, but you know what? I stay true. Detroit Lions, you're my team. Let's do this. All right, so got that one out of the way, Vikings fan. Sorry. All right, I got another question. Frank Gore, does he have value this year? I know their backfield's a little more crowded this year. They went out and got something through the draft. They got something through free agency. They added a bunch of receivers. You know what? Frank Gore's value is on the decline. They got Brandon Jacobs. Guess what Brandon Jacobs is good for? He's good around the goal line. They have Kendall Hunter, whom everyone loved last year. And they went out there and they got the speedster, LaMichael James. The backfield is absolutely crowded in San Francisco. The wild card in all of this is what they're going to do with Alex Smith's role. Are they going to increase it? I know they have a tremendous weapon at tight end. They went out there, they snagged a bunch of receivers, they drafted some receivers, and it's a passing league. The bottom line, the 49ers are a defense-first team. They didn't want Alex Smith to make any mistakes last year, so they were a run-first team on offense. And then they sprinkled in a little of Alex Smith. I think they're going to expand the quarterback's role, decrease Frank Gore's role, and increase some of these other running backs' role. It's a very, very scary situation for fantasy football owners, especially if you're a big Frank Gore fan. My advice to you is stay away from Frank Gore. His value is not top 2 running back value anymore. He's a running back 3, and you know what? It's a risky move if you take him as a running back 2. If you go running back 2 with him, it's either going to be high payout or you are going to bust. That could be your player to make or break your Super Bowl run right there. So, that's your decision. My advice to you, Frank Gore, running back 3 at the very best. Hulk got Nikes. Yo man, I'm happy to see you back. Happy I could help you last year. Loved all your questions. Enjoyed helping you out. Right here, my man. This, you know what? Looking at your team, I'm liking, I like what you put together a little bit. I'm not a huge Chris Johnson fan. Just never did it for me in the fantasy world. Very inconsistent games. I hate that he'll go and have a 40-yard game, and then he'll bust out and have a 250-yard game. Just doesn't do it for me, doesn't score enough touchdowns for my liking. I saw you went out there, you probably drafted him with your number 1 pick. I'm loving what you did with your other running backs. So Trent Richardson, he's going to have a good year. Ryan Matthews, love Ryan Matthews. Think this guy could be spectacular. But my draft strategy, heading into any draft, this year especially, if you got a top 6 pick, I'm talking quarterback all the way, and you know that. Checking out my draft strategies video. Your quarterback, I'm enjoying your pick, man. I like RG3. I think he could be solid. He could have some solid numbers. They put nice weapons around him. And if Rex Grossman can put up fantasy numbers, you know that RG3 could do the same. Your wide receivers, dude, I'm not liking them. I think they're a little soft. And this is a passing league, man. This is a league where you need some receivers to get out there, get you some points. I'm assuming you're starting 3 receivers. Brandon Lloyd, I like his upside. Playing with Tom Brady, the upside is there. Brandon Lloyd has the opportunity to go bonkers. But again, Brady has weapons in front of him. You're looking at Wes Welker, 2 tight ends, and then maybe it's Brandon Lloyd's turn in the offense. But I like his upside. Colston, I think he shares way too much of the load. And Reggie Wayne, you might as well just put a humongous question mark in front of that dude's name this year. Rookie quarterback coming in with a tight end as his #1 option. Reggie Wayne getting older. Big question marks. I don't see Indy scoring all that much this year as on top of that. So receivers could use a lot of work, my man. I love your tight end, Jacob Tamme. He could be the eruption of the entire season. We all know he had a very good season with Indy when he got the opportunity. It's his opportunity this year, and you know he's got Peyton Manning throwing him the rock, so Tamme could have a solid year. And your late pickup of Matt Ryan, very nice, dude. I like it. If RG3 kind of folds, Matt Ryan is a very nice option to have. So Hulk, again, appreciate you following me along, and excellent job with your draft. Improve the receivers a little bit. Question, do you keep Lance Moore or do you go after Randy Moss? Huge question. I'm stumped. Just kidding, man. Stick with Lance Moore, better quarterback, gets more touchdowns, and again, that wide receiver core in San Francisco. It's their second option, and plus, who knows if Randy Moss is going to beat the rookie they got, Jenkins, or if he's going to beat out Crabtree. He's going to fight Vernon Davis for touches. You're going to get more opportunity with Lance Moore. Stick with Lance Moore. Don't go dropping him for Randy Moss. DeMarco Murray versus Chris Johnson. I will take DeMarco Murray all day, every day, and then some. Again, Chris Johnson just doesn't score touchdowns like I want him to, and the Cowboys' offense is high octane. Murray, when he's in there, stud. He's a very, very good pick. Stick with him. He's young, too. Montario Hardesty. They went out and picked up Trent Richardson. He has 0 value right now. Every year, it's supposed to be Hardesty's team. He's supposed to be the guy running the ball. But they went out there, they stole themselves a hog in the backfield in Trent Richardson, who can play every down. He gets better with the carries, with the amount of carries per game, so he's going to tote the ball a lot. He's also a capable receiver. There you go, man. Hardesty, you got him or are targeting him. Look the other way. Hardesty, 0 value. And again, what is my strategy going into a draft? Quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. It's a pass-first league. And as far as running backs, check out my running back show. It's coming. My ratings are done. My show is coming. Just be patient. You will be shocked at some of my running back rankings. I'm going a little off the grid. I'm not following along with all the so-called experts out there. You got to take some risks, take some chances, educate yourself, and you know what? I think you're going to appreciate my rankings. So keep an eye out for my running back rating show. Here we go. We got some rookies to talk about. I touched base very briefly throughout some of the questions, but rookie quarterbacks, value players. Robert Griffith III, it's my man. I think he's going to be a monster in the NFL. If you're in a keeper league, RG3 is going to look to have tremendous keeper value. I think he's going to come out of the gates really strong. He's got good weapons, a good offense. The guy's got great legs. He obviously can run. So RG3, a lot of value. Also, Andrew Luck. He's a once-in-a-lifetime guy, and the Colts have him. They just don't have a lot around the kid right now. Andrew Luck, he's going to have a lot of value. Again, keeper value. Kind of a risky play, kind of a long shot, but I see Andrew Luck having a very bright future in the NFL, which turns into fantasy numbers for all of us owners. Andrew Luck, not a bad pick later in your fantasy draft. Some junk that I see. Ryan Tannehill. Sorry, dude, your situation blows. You went to a team where you're not going to be very successful. He's got nobody to throw to. Traded away their biggest weapon. So good luck. All you out there who are firm believers in what Tannehill can do, enjoy yourself in the cellar. Junk pick. Bad for fantasy football right now. Steer clear of this guy. And I'm putting a short-term junk tag on Brandon Weeden. I like this guy. I think he's a good quarterback, a little older. He needs weapons around him, though. We'll see. Maybe a receiver will emerge for Cleveland, but beyond then, I think first year will be a mediocre year at best. But I think the future looks very bright. They have a running back in place. They have a few receivers who are just waiting to explode. Short term, I think this guy could be a nice pick later in your draft. Maybe towards the end of the season, he'll put up some decent numbers to help your fantasy team. But for now, in the short term for this guy, not the pick you want to make. And a guy to keep your eye on, Russell Wilson in Seattle. They love him. Through their little mini camps, he is in the fight for the starting quarterback position. I got to watch him firsthand at Wisconsin. Loved what this kid could do. He's small, Drew Brees style, can throw the ball anywhere. Big arm, good with his legs, good decision maker. Keep an eye on Russell Wilson and his situation in Seattle. I like him. I think he can put up some fantasy numbers. Has decent weapons around him. Russell Wilson, we'll see. He's in a fight with Matt Flynn, though. We'll see who takes that job. Running backs. Here we go. Trent Richardson, he's a slam dunk. He's one of the guys you want to target early at the running back position. He's going to get every opportunity to carry the ball a bunch. He's going to start from day one. The guy's an absolute monster, so enjoy Trent Richardson and target him early and often. Doug Martin, Tampa Bay. Again, you're going to hear a ton about this guy. Doug Martin, he could end up being the starter on opening day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This guy's going to get a bunch of opportunity. He can do it all. He's not going to have the fumbling problems. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. They're going to love Doug Martin, and this guy is going to take over and be the starter in Tampa Bay. Again, a very nice pick. For someone who's not running out there and drafting a running back in the first round, Doug Martin could be a suitable running back 1 or 2 on your fantasy team. So keep that in mind. And lastly, for the guys that you must pick, David Wilson, New York Giants. We all know Ahmad Bradshaw and his injury problems. And then we also know that they got rid of their goal line back in Brandon Jacobs. If Wilson steps in and gets Jacobs carries right off the bat, which he's in line to do, he's going to have fantasy value right away. So keep an eye on David Wilson and make him a target. He'd be a nice running back 2, running back 3 for your fantasy team. Some mediocre value right now. LaMichael James. It's a big question mark how the 49ers are going to use this kid. He has explosiveness written all over him, though. He's going to be a guy a lot like all the little running backs, Darren Sproles, those little scat backs that get any daylight and they're gone. James is that kind of player. He's got that explosiveness. And you know what? The 49ers need a player like that. So they're going to find ways to get this guy on the field. And a guy you want to steer clear of, Isaiah Pead. We're going to go with Pead. He plays for the Rams. It's Steven Jackson's team still. Steven Jackson is the guy who gets all the carries. He gets better with the carries. So, you know what? Steer clear of this guy. He is a running back 4 or a flex 5 on your team. Just steer clear of this guy. Not a lot of value unless you're in super deep fantasy leagues and you want to take a risk on someone. Wide receivers, this is where it's at. This is where these guys could come in and make immediate impact. Guys you want to target. Like I said, it's a pass-happy league. So these guys were drafted early, and they were drafted to make immediate impact. Alshon Jeffrey, I love the kid. I think he could be the most NFL-ready player at the wide receiver position. The Bears, they stole him, basically. He's big. He can out-jump people. Might not be the fastest cat on the block, but Alshon Jeffrey for the Bears is going to get a lot of targets, and he is going to do major damage in the red zone. I like this guy. He could be a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 on your fantasy team. Kendall Wright, he's going to step in. He's going to be an immediate impact player as well. Obviously, he's fast. Injuries at receiver are going to allow him to slide right in there for Tennessee. So Kendall Wright, focus on him. Ruben Randall, you want to talk about injury, allowing a rookie to step in and get immediate impact. Hakeem Nicks goes down. Ruben Randall, opportunity is knocking at your door, my man. Stepping in for the Giants, who throw the ball an awful lot. He's got a great quarterback, and Randall's going to have a lot of opportunity to get some playing time. A nice steal in your fantasy draft if you keep an eye open for this guy. Mohamed Sanu, I like him. Playing for Cincinnati, he's going to step in, be the second receiver. You talk about major weapons for a young quarterback. Andy Dalton has got monsters at receiver in A.J. Green and Mohamed Sanu. Bengals like to throw it around. They're a competitive team. They have a better running game this year. I think Sanu could be an absolute steal in your fantasy draft. Stephen Hill, Jets. Looking at him lining up across from Santonio Holmes. Stephen Hill has all the athletic gifts a receiver could ever wish for. He's tall, he's fast, and I'm talking ungodly fast. This guy learns to catch the ball a little better. You're talking huge fantasy numbers. This guy is a Calvin Johnson prototype. Obviously, he's not Megatron, but still, that kind of body, that kind of speed, all the tools to be very scary. And lastly, Brian Quick. This guy is going to be right there. He's going to be wide receiver 1 for the Rams, which means he's going to be Bradford's #1 target. I love the possibilities of this guy. He could quite possibly end up being the biggest stat scorer this year for any fantasy owner. As far as rookies go, focus on this guy. He is a major steal. Again, he could fall into that wide receiver 2 category for your fantasy team. I look at him in the same light as Alshon Jeffrey. I love both these guys. I love the potential that they could have this season. And fantasy owners, start drooling. You're going to love these two. Some mediocre guys. Michael Floyd, Cardinals, quarterback position. Who the heck is playing quarterback for Arizona? Is it going to be Cobb? Is it going to be my cat right here? We don't know, and we don't know who's going to throw him the ball. He's lining up across from one of the best in the game in Larry Fitzgerald. So Michael Floyd, his value could go way up. Keep an eye on this in training camp. Quarterback battle. It's just out of my hands right now. Justin Blackman, this poor bastard on draft day, he was probably frustrated. Get drunk, do your thing, Justin Blackman, because you're going to Jacksonville where nobody's throwing you the ball. Your offense is horrible. You could possibly be the worst franchise in the NFL right now. Poor Justin Blackman, all the tools to be a beast, and he just went to a very, very rotten situation. And the third guy you want to keep your eye on, mediocre, Devier Posey. This guy, someone needs to step in and play alongside Andre Johnson. They're pulling straws right now. Is this the guy? Keep an eye on it, training camp, check out the depth chart, but someone needs to be wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 in Houston. And the guys you want to stay away from, Ryan Broyles from Detroit, coming off that major injury. I loved Ryan Broyles in college. Talk about a freak. It's a good investment for Detroit long term, but as far as this year's impact, he's not going to have much of an impact. And Chris Givens for the Rams. Again, they're going to focus on Brian Quick. They brought back a few of their veteran receivers. And, this is just going to push Givens down on the depth chart a little bit. Some guys that are on the radar. Nick Toon for the Saints. You're a Saints receiver. You are always on the radar. Saints throw the ball. They use at least 5 receivers. And Nick Toon is a very, very capable receiver. Jerron Kreiner, Oakland. A lot of size. Good receiver. Again, who knows what the situation's going to be like. The Raiders, they love their speed burners. So they're going to sprinkle this guy in a little bit. A.J. Jenkins, 49ers. Wide receiver battle in San Francisco. Are they going to throw the rookie right in or not? Are they going to let him learn from Randy Moss or not? A lot of questions to be answered. Training camps, they will solve a lot of these. Ty Hilton, Indianapolis. This guy, the Colts need receivers. They need youth out there. They need someone for Mr. Luck to throw the ball to. So will he rise to the occasion? And lastly, the Dolphins, they need help everywhere. So that means some of their rookies could step in and get some immediate playing time. So keep an eye on B.J. Cunningham and Rashard Matthews. 2 guys for the Dolphins that might step in there and steal some touchdowns for you. Alright guys, those are the rookies. Those are the guys you just keep an eye on. You know what? You have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. I'm here to help you guys. Next show will be quarterback ratings. I'm excited. I have them ranked. I'm ready to get that information to you guys. So let's start doing work. Dominate our NFL fantasy football drafts. Till next time, guys. We're out.